I'm Scott Moore, and I'm a performance engineer. I help to make software and applications faster, better, more resilient. Lately, there's one thing on my mind.
Where's the best barbecue at, man?
So I'm going across the country, talking about performance engineering and barbecue. Join me as we take the performance tour.
Get a little cold as I head westward towards Texas, but when you hit Texas, man, you gotta do one thing. You gotta hit Buc-ee's.
I made it to Dallas. It's a little bit cold, but I gotta have a conversation with my friends at QA Consultants. Where else you think I'm gonna have it? Lockhart.
Hey, we're in Lockhart's in Dallas, Texas, Plano to be specific, and I'm smelling the smoke. It's awesome, and I am here with Brian. Brian, who are you?
Brian Berknoff, Managing Director of QA Consultants.
What is QAC seeing in terms of performance testing, performance engineering, in terms of consulting?
One of the things we're seeing is a request to have more of our performance testing work done earlier in the life cycle. And we know we've seen this a lot. We hear a lot about shift left. But now because of the cost has gone down so much, we're able to do more with DevOps. Traditionally that's been functional testing and test automation, but now we're able to do more with performance engineering earlier in the life cycle, and that's really exciting.
So we're right here in Dallas. What's the biggest concerns that you hear with companies in the Dallas area around performance issues?
Yeah, I think in relation to our overall conversation, it's performance testing versus performance engineering. We're seeing a lot of questions around access to talent. How do we grow talent? And Dallas has been really cool in the last couple of years. It's really generating a lot of capabilities. We're growing talent here in Dallas, repatriating jobs and seeing a lot of that growth here, both at the enterprise and Fortune level, as well as startups. The startup ecosystem here in Dallas has grown tremendously, and we're seeing what a great economy we have here in North Texas. So many companies are relocating here. So it's been really exciting, obviously for performance testing, performance engineering, but overall for the QA industry, we're seeing so much demand for that work, both obviously as consulting, but certainly in general as well. We're seeing a lot of that work here.
That's great, Brian, but what are the pain points?
So I think the biggest pain points we're seeing are obviously the funding for performance engineering. It's taking some time to adopt and adapt to those procedures. Having the budgeting for early performance testing or even performance engineering has been a concern for a lot of companies. We're really focused on, like I said, the DevOps process, and that investment's going into the tools and technology to get code out the door. We'd like to see a little bit more focus on the quality processes as part of Agile, which, as you say all the time, Scott, I mean, that's such an important piece of the puzzle.
The thing that I hear mostly is about environments and about how do we, when we have a traditional performance engineering team, how do we keep up with this Agile development movement that's going on? Because we're used to doing 4 to 6 week test situations, or it takes 4 to 6 weeks to do it, and they're leaving us behind. How do we get involved with that? So I'm kind of always advising to move into the more of the performance engineering space where you shift left and you start working with the developers. The testing team can work with the developers to make it more of a self-service type thing, and just say, look, let's set a budget for each web page needs to be under so many seconds. Each service needs to be under so many milliseconds. Start a budget there. If you pass that test, then it rolls into us. We set aside, maybe it's a maintenance sprint at first, and then eventually you're working with that team as you go to build performance and engineer it truly into it so that it can be sort of a checkbox, but it's not a 6-week checkbox.
Well, I think you've hit it right on the head. We talk about this a lot. The idea that you can't have a 6-week or a 6-month regression cycle, or even when you're trying to deploy daily, right? So we've got to be able to find ways that you can't test everything. We've got to have the right focus on risk, and that includes functional testing, of course, automated testing, whether it's for regression or even new functionality, and certainly bringing performance and security earlier into that cycle, and being able to do that all in a daily deployment is really critical and a huge challenge right now, whether you're an enterprise company or a startup.
Brian, thanks for being with me on the show. You know what I'd like to do right now? I'd like to get some barbecue.
Welcome to Lockhart's. A little bit about this place. We opened here about 5 years ago. This is our 3rd location. We were originally associated with the Kreitz Market in Lockhart, Texas. Things that we're most known for are our brisket, our burn-ins. We do a lot of specialty meats like whiskey butter turkey, bread pudding.
Do you want to show us the smokers or anything?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so what we got here is an indirect offset smoker. We put our post oak wood down there, and it flows the heat like this. So we got some briskets on here, anywhere over 160. And when it's jiggly like that, then that's good.
Is that you?
Scott Moore. Man, I could really use a lift. I'm heading to Vegas.
Get in.
What are you doing hitchhiking?
I'm always up for adventure.
Listen, I gotta stay in Dallas at least one more night. There's some people that I gotta talk to, but maybe we should both talk to them.
Is barbecue involved?
What do you think?
I'm in.
Heartache barbecue tonight. Let's do it.